And out on the floor, shaking off the pregame jitters, these guys getting all set for tip-off. Welcome to 2K Sports. What could be better than kicking back on a Sunday afternoon watching the NBA? Brian Anderson here, alongside Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson, with Allie LaForce joining us from the floor. And checking out Brooklyn's opening lineup, Porter Jr. is the 4 with Claxton at the 5. Dimon at the 1 with Thomas at the 2. And it's Highsmith in at the 3. And for the Spurs, Fox at the 1 with Castle at the 2. Up front, they're going with Johnson and Wemby. And it's Vassell in at small forward. So, Grant, we're still early on in this new season. I imagine it can be difficult to get back into the flow of things.
You know, B.A., you're spot on. It definitely takes some time to get used to the grind of the season again. You know, between the traveling and the hotel rooms, changing time zones. But
and going through warm-ups, trying to get into a little groove here. Thank you for tuning into this Sunday afternoon 2K Sports edition of the NBA. With Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony and Allie LaForce on our sideline, I'm Kevin Harlan. So the Nets starting 5. Guard spots filled by Dimon and Thomas. The post tandem, Porter Jr. and Claxton. And it's Highsmith in at the small forward position. And here are the Nets. On this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Not exactly a game that everyone will be talking about here, but both of these teams can show flashes at times.
And last year, they split their season series, so this is a chance for one of them to get the upper hand on the other.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
And that is why you want to run off turnovers. Get down the floor before the defense is set.
Vassell, the pass to Wembanyama. Clock at 6. From deep three-point territory, he's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. So, Greg, here we are, just about a week into the NBA season. The regular season comes at you fast.
I mean, the games start coming fast and furiously right out of the gate. But you wonder how we made it through summer without getting to see any NBA action.
Here's Wembanyama, coming off a stellar performance against New Orleans. And that one's good by Porter.
And making it look easy. Even with aggressive coverage, Porter Jr. finds a way to score.
They double-team Wembanyama. Vassell kicks to Johnson. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Fox, no good. The Nets have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here's Porter. Victor Wembanyama grabs the rebound. The Spurs have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And it's Wembanyama with the jam.
And this is what you want to see. Wembanyama attacking with authority inside.
And so it's Porter bringing it up now for the Brooklyn Nets. They trail by 1. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. Here's Claxton. Good, and a nice assist from Porter.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, It is intimidating.
Now, here's Fox. 12 points his last outing. Wembanyama down low. Claxton's there.
Watch out. Wembanyama hammering that one home.
To the middle. And Claxton throws it down. A lot of give and take between these sides early.
Yeah, and both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
Wembanyama outside. And the three ball is good. Wembanyama's got 10.
Well, he obviously came in ready to play, already hitting 4 of his first 5 shots.
The shot's good from Claxton.
Well, he saw the height advantage he had and went right up with it. That's exactly what you want him to do there.
And in a little over a decade, the Nets, GA, having to rebuild from the ashes of 2 super team iterations.
The short time span between shows how quickly they can turn things around. And with a treasure trove of picks in the coming years, they look to climb that mountain once again.
Porter. Victor Wembanyama grabs the rebound. Here's Fox. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
There's the toughness from Fox. Not much deters him from getting a bucket.
The Spurs shooting their first free throw this game. And the speed of De'Aaron Fox. Wow. GA, he gets up the court in a hurry.
And you combine his water bug quickness with the towering size of Wembanyama. It's a 1-2 punch that promises to confound opponents for years to come.
And it's Wembanyama with the jam.
And a monster game for Wemby with the matchup issues he creates. I'm not sure anyone in this league can stop him when he's on.
And finished off by Porter.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. Wembanyama with it. Claxton covering. Back to Wembanyama. Tries it from 19. The rebound by Demon.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
Thomas against Fox. Outside Thomas. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Offensive rebound. And Claxton throws it down.
Doing his job on the glass and doing it with force.
And Greg, it's not everybody in the league who can make those kinds of plays.
Well, he gets paid to be a factor on the glass. That's a nice dunk to finish it off.
Wembanyama high post. Claxton's there. Here's Castle. Still without a basket. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down.
A 6'6" Castle is a strong finisher inside.
Porter in the corner. Outside Thomas. Pass to Highsmith. Here's Porter. Here's Demon. No good. That would have tied it. Here's Fox. The rebound by the Nets.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yeah, it was a great look. Sometimes they don't fall. You've just got to keep taking great shots.
Now, here's Vassell. Wembanyama passes to Johnson. Back to Wembanyama. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Good. Now it's a 5-point Spurs lead.
Oh, how about the vision by Wembanyama there? Always looking to get teammates involved. You've got to love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage. Now, here's Fox. The drive by Wembanyama. And Wembanyama throws it down.
And we talk about how Wembanyama makes the wow plays. Wow.
And so, Jordi Fernandez decides to call timeout. He's ready to talk things through with them. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. In fourth, the Spurs.
Well, they played great defense last season. They had great rim protection, and they were very disruptive.
Here's Demon. Screen by Claxton. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
Look, I'm not sure what's going on with him. 0 for the night. Might be time to give someone else a chance.
They double-team Wembanyama. There's the screen. Here's Sohan. And another basket for San Antonio.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Porter finds Claxton. And here is Thomas. Last game he had 13. And it's off from three-point range.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Here's Sohan. Wembanyama down low. Thomas against Barnes. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. And now a 9-point Spurs lead. Here's Demon. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Let's take a look here at the numbers for Porter. He had a strong showing last season. Last season, he averaged 18 points per, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. To have a scorer like him consistently deliver you points makes such a big difference for a team.
Yeah, he gives you something to build around night after night. Reliability is huge in this league.
Here's Wembanyama. 14 points for him. And that one's good, Barnes.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Claxton sets the screen for Thomas. Outside Williams. Over Barnes. And again, it's the Nets missing. Spurs leading by 11. The kick out to Harper. This one for 3. That's good, and it's Wembanyama with the assist.
And they are shooting the lights out from distance here early.
And so, Jordi Fernandez decides to call timeout. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guys. The Spurs making a switch here. Fox is checked in. Here's Saroff. 1:41 left in the first quarter of the game.
And they come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Shot from the wing. That's good from Wembanyama on the assist by Fox.
Well, he's a reason why they're winning right now. He's been efficient offensively, and his confidence continues to grow.
Here's Saroff. Pass to Clowney. 6 on the shot clock. And here is Williams to end the run. Rebounded by the Spurs. Wembanyama's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. The kick out to Harper. Pulls from the top of the key. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And they're getting points. They're getting stops. And this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Great example of how to build a lead and then sustain it. You win games on both ends of the floor.
Now here's Williams. Hasn't made one yet. Over Barnes. Williams gets the bucket.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Fox passes to Wembanyama. Harper in the corner, and looks like the illegal kick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And not the most common call you'll see in the NBA, but hard to argue that pick wasn't illegal.
Yeah, and that's maybe something that should be called more. We see a lot of moving screens in today's NBA.
5 seconds left in the first quarter. Clowney, money from the wing.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
And so it's Victor Wembanyama making things happen for San Antonio. Setting up teammates and getting buckets. He is looking as determined as ever. We come back right after this. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. A pass to Fox. That's good, and it's Wembanyama with the assist. Wembanyama has got 6 assists in the game. Well, Stan De'Aaron Fox said there was no list of teams he wanted to go to. He specifically said, I want to go to San Antonio.
Well, 2 words, Victor Wembanyama. Fox is a Texas native and saw an opportunity to pair himself with a rising superstar in a stable organization.
I'm told now by our producer, do we have him, guys? Okay, we do. We have a call coming in from Shams Charania. Shams, thanks for joining us. What do you have?
Well, for all the anticipation around NBA expansion, we might have to pump the brakes. I'm told a number of team owners are a bit hesitant to further carve up the revenue from this new national broadcasting deal, so the timeline may take longer than some fans had hoped.
They'll get there for sure. All right, Shams, we thank you very much for that report. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Thanks a lot, guys. Victor Wembanyama is trying to gain strength, but he said it's important not to lose your mobility. So bulking up is not a good word. It's more being stable. That's the way to keep going. I don't need to bulk up. I need to get my core stronger. I need to get solid. Kevin?
That approach makes sense. All right, Allie, thank you for the report.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Well, Stan, after 8 seasons with the Kings, a new chapter for De'Aaron Fox now in San Antonio.
Yeah, Kevin, and look, you got to be excited about that if you're a San Antonio fan. De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama together? Is there a better pick and roll combination in the league? The sky's the limit for that duo.
There's the pick. Shot clock at 6. Outside, Porter. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Wow, his shooting woes continue, and it's weighing down this offense.
Wembanyama with it. 16 points for him. Fox, no good.
Well, he hasn't had a great night shooting the ball, but they're in the lead, and that's the only thing that matters.
And a wide-open look for Porter. And the Nets miss again.
He hasn't been at his best this quarter. I'd like to see him be a little more patient right now.
Here's Barnes, and good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Barnes has got 12.
And when you get this kind of shooting from him, 100% from the field, they're going to be tough to beat.
And so, Jordi Fernandez decides to call timeout. This now will give him a chance to discuss some potential changes. A different look now for San Antonio. Johnson, he's checked in for Jeremy Sohan. Vassell comes in for Barnes, and Castle is subbed in for Harper. Porter looking it over. To the inside, here's Claxton, and Claxton throws it down.
Well, nice pass by Porter Jr., moving the ball with a purpose.
Here's Whoa!
That's a 7-footer, and then some, showing off guard handles. Wembanyama is unique.
Pass to man. Back to Porter. Over in the corner, Claxton takes a 3. A rebound by the Spurs. Wembanyama has got rebound number 13 with that last one. Back to Fox. It's tipped. Now, man. Pass to Demon. Here's Highsmith. Guarded by Fox. Here's Demon. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Vassell. Claxton on the follow. Claxton's got 4 points in the quarter.
And he has found the stroke, folks. Continues to knock down shot after shot. Perfection thus far.
Wembanyama, that's for 2. And another basket for San Antonio.
Yeah, on any given night, this is what Wembanyama is capable of. He can put on a one-man show.
Porter a screen on Vassell. Pass to Claxton. Tries it from 9. And the rejection by Wembanyama. And the basket by Vassell. And the Spurs lead by 19.
Yeah, and that mid-range shot is really Vassell's primary weapon.
Here's Claxton. And the rejection by Wembanyama. Vassell finds... Oh, wow, what a great move inside.
That is incredible. And when Victor dunks it, it sometimes looks like a toy hoop, doesn't it?
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Here's Porter, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Porter's got 6.
Well, he's given himself a chance. 6 shots he's gotten up this quarter, but only able to convert on 1 of them.
And so Mitch Johnson decides to call timeout. He's going to take a few moments here to check in with his team and regroup. Harper, he's checked in for San Antonio. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Cameron Thomas, he's checked in for Terrence Mann. So it's the Spurs now. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand. Wembanyama against Claxton. Outside Harper. Shoots. Here's Wembanyama.
You have to be aware of Wembanyama on the boards. Really keep a body on him.
Nets trail by 21. Here's Claxton, and he banks in the layup. Claxton's got 16.
Listen, it's a team sport. But without him, this deficit would be a lot bigger.
Pass to Harper. Porter with the steal. Here's Demon. To the paint. Rebound San Antonio. Johnson's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Harper. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And 11 points for Dylan Harper. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. And the rejection by Wembanyama. Thomas gets the bucket.
Bang, bang. The pass was there, and Thomas was shot ready.
Outside for Wembanyama. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Wembanyama's got 27 points. And Claxton throws it down.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Wembanyama against Claxton. Wembanyama passes to Vassell. And the basket by Castle.
Something Castle continues to work on. It's crucial that he becomes more consistent from deep.
Pass to Thomas. Here's Demon. He's guarded by Harper. Here's Demon. 6 to shoot. From deep, Thomas. Wembanyama with the rebound.
Excellent work defensively. That's how you guard a three-point shooter of his caliber.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Yeah, just a good job here in the second. Pounding it inside, getting good looks right at the basket. Big reason why they're in front.
Barnes, he's checked in for the Spurs. And the Nets also making a change. Mann's checked in. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Demon. And the rejection by Wembanyama.
Well, he hasn't made a shot, and his team is losing. Time to find another solution.
Going to Wembanyama, any chance you get just makes a whole lot of sense. Victor is really on fire tonight.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Highsmith, and nothing is falling for him right now.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
The kick out to Barnes. Sinks the triple. Barnes has got 11 here in this quarter alone.
I love that they're continuing to attack despite being up big.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless. Building this lead in every way possible.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. It's the Spurs just dominating this one. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome, everyone.
It starts with their rebounding. They're controlling the glass. That gives you those extra possessions.
Yeah, they're doing the dirty work, plain and simple. And now, thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to...
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. We're seeing a tremendous game from Victor Wembanyama.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Yeah, and in terms of slowing him down, I think they're going to have to change things up. Give him some different looks.
Fox and Castle are their guards. Johnson and Wembanyama make up the 4 and the 5. And it's Vassell in at the 3, the small forward. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. A pass to Fox. Launches a 3. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Now Claxton. Now here's Porter. And there's the defensive 3-second call. You know, Greg, you could argue the Nets kind of overachieved last season under first-year head coach Jordi Fernandez.
Yeah, only the 6th worst record last season. The defense was halfway decent, but they understand some patience is required in a rebuild.
Rebound, San Antonio.
Well, give credit to the defense for cutting him off. Normally, that'd be easy points for him at the rim.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Outside Thomas. Here's the 3. Wembanyama with the rebound. Wembanyama has got rebound number 17, if you can believe that. And Wembanyama throws it down.
Wembanyama barely even has to elevate when he throws it down.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Inside. Demon, that's good.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
Well, if you have the killer instinct he showed there, it doesn't matter what the size disadvantage is.
Down low. It's tipped. Here's Highsmith. Again with the block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
And Claxton throws it down.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this.
They double team Wembanyama. Inside. Pass to Vassell. Johnson for 3. And no good.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
Highsmith the pass to Claxton. The kick out to Porter. The Nets working the ball around now. And it's Demon missing.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Pass to Vassell. Porter with the steal. Here's Demon. Guarded by Fox. It's Porter outside. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 5th rebound in this one. That one good for 2. Wembanyama's got 6 here in this quarter.
And few defenders to ever play in this league have the ability to slow Wembanyama inside.
Well, look, he's doing what he can to try to keep them afloat offensively, continuing to stay aggressive.
To the middle.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Brooklyn's getting blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3.
A little artistry in the painted area, converting against the size.
Yeah, he didn't let the defense affect him there. He just kept his focus.
Wembanyama with the bucket.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Pass to Porter. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Rebounded by Castle.
Now, his shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me. Yeah, this quarter's all about him. He's just dominating at the offensive end.
Mann's checked in for Porter. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
Well, they've clearly been focused on getting the ball inside. And up to this point, the defense has not had an answer.
And one other thing they have done well has been scoring in transition, looking to run whenever they can.
Got that one up quick.
Well, you love assisted hoops. That's good offense.
Outside, Fox. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Fox has got 8 points in the quarter. And now looks like we've got an injury here, guys. We'll likely see him come out of the game.
Well, I mean, you really feel for him. I mean, and the entire team. Just, you got to hope for the best.
Yeah, this can bring a team together. Guys can step up and try to pick up the slack for an injured teammate.
Barnes, he's checked in for Johnson. Pass to Mann. It's Thomas on the wing. Wow, drew the contact, and that 3 almost went in, so he'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Well, Thomas is constantly looking to score the ball, and that forces the D to act with aggression.
You know, Greg, talking about Cam Thomas now, what are some things you'd like to see him improve on?
Well, I'd say defense first and foremost. If he's able to improve there, as well as his passing and playmaking, watch out. He's already an incredible scorer. Making the smart choice there. Wembanyama's shot isn't there on the pick and roll, so he finds the open teammate.
The Nets have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the third quarter got underway. To the inside. Here's Thomas. Rebounded by Castle. San Antonio's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Now we'll hear from Allie LaForce, and she's got a story for us. An update. Allie?
Hey, guys. Well, the Spurs are on the rise. Victor Wembanyama said, quote, "I've been on board since day one. We know it's not going to be a straight line. There will be ups and downs. This is not easy, but I'm very confident in the will that my guys have. The long term is never being questioned." Guys, back to you.
They'll get there for sure. All right, Ellie, thank you for the report.
And a big man who moves like a guard, Wembanyama is an absolute terror when he slices inside.
Pass to Thomas. Here's Claxton. And the rejection by Wembanyama. And the Spurs with some changes. Jeremy Sohan's checked in for Barnes, and it's Harper in for Fox. Here's Claxton. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Claxton's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Well, they have to be thrilled with how reliable he's been tonight.
Castle on the wing. Wembanyama outside. Five on the clock. Lets it go from 11. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Pass to Highsmith. His three-pointers off the mark. So it's San Antonio now. Deflects the pass. Here's Demon. He's guarded by Harper. Here's Highsmith. From deep, Thomas. Wembanyama with the rebound. Wembanyama has got his 20th rebound here tonight. Saw that coming. They double team Wembanyama. And it's Sohan missing. Brooklyn's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. And Thomas has it in the corner. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot 3. You can be sure, GA, that as the Spurs build this team, there will be no shortcuts.
Well, they're surely eyeing that group 8 hours north in OKC. Another young core that's not going anywhere. If the Spurs want to contend, the standard's been set.
Aaron Sharp, he's checked in for the Nets.
Well, it seems like the more offensive responsibility Cam Thomas has been given in his career, the better he's gotten. That says something about his skill.
Wembanyama, good on the 13-footer. Wembanyama has got 15 points here in the second half. Thomas deciding where to go with it. Pass to Demon. Sharp with a screen on Harper. Now Sharp lays it up off the glass.
Well, sharp interior passing is so important. The best way to create high-percentage buckets.
Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Wembanyama against Sharp. Fader on the way. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Well, they just need to keep getting him the ball. He has been terrific this quarter.
And then Sharp with the dunk.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Champagnie passes to Wembanyama. And the Spurs scoring again.
Showing he's more than just an interior threat. Wembanyama also possesses that reliable jump shot.
Sharp, that's good. Sharp's got 6 points.
Look, you love to see this kind of team chemistry. Let's see more of that.
Here's Wembanyama. It's a great finish!
Oh my gosh. Well, overcoming contact inside is something Wembanyama is pretty accustomed to.
And a good-looking view of that throwdown from the AT&T Connected Cam. Thomas gets a wide-open look. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Yeah, nice poise in the pick and roll. Thomas just taking what the defense gives him.
Now Wembanyama. Non-stop scoring machine here. And here's Harper from the arc. That's good, and it's Wembanyama with the assist.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
Yeah, they've looked really in sync after the break. Getting the shots they want and converting them.
And you love to see this assertive play from Wembanyama, refusing to let himself be stopped inside.
Outside Thomas. Here's Demon. He's guarded by Harper. Man. And a miss there on the triple. San Antonio's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Sohan, the pass to Wembanyama. And another one falls.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Demon. Right side, Thomas. Wembanyama with the rebound. Over Thomas. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
And give him credit. Good awareness of the time remaining.
Yeah, really a perfect way to finish that quarter on a strong, positive note.
And so it's San Antonio, holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an...
And so it's San Antonio, easily taken this one. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
Ellie, let's go to you courtside. What do you have?
Harrison, we saw some hot shooting for you. Did you have a sense coming in that you were poised for a performance like this?
Just trying to let it fly. That's been a big message our coach has been trying to preach to us. The coaching staff really is just play loose, play free, go out there and have some fun, and that's what we did tonight.
You have the green light. Thanks, Harrison.
Great job. Thanks for that, Allie. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Allie LaForce, and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Victor Wembanyama.